Hey guys, Craig back with another video for geektech.ie, and today we're taking a look at the S-View cover for the Samsung Galaxy S4. Now, this one's complicated because I actually already did this video, but I did it when I just got the cover and I didn't really use it that much. It was meant more of an overview, but since then I've used the cover and I wanted to redo the video because there's been a few issues with it, the cover itself. Not really much has changed over the opinion. Like, it's a flipboard cover with a screen, so that's pretty much the idea there. So you know, you already have an opinion on what it can do, but there is a few drawbacks for this particular one which is exactly why I'm redoing this video. But first things first, I'm just going to show you the cover itself. You can see the screen there, and when you activate it, zoom in so you can see it, you can sort of see it there. It activates a small portion of the Galaxy S4's display, which is used for notifications, answering the phone, pretty much basic stuff like that. What you would expect from a little cutout on the flipboard screen. That's pretty much it. There's nothing else fancy about it. It will wake the device when you open it, and it will put the device into sleep, activate the little small screen for a few seconds. That's pretty much it. But yeah, it's the drawbacks. There's a few negative sides of this thing. The first one I'm going to talk about is pretty much the smallest negative thing. It's not really a negative thing. Technically it could be considered a positive thing, but it's not really advertised that, so technically it's negative. Is the fact that the back cover is thicker. It's much thicker than the original one. I actually have the original one here and I'll show you. As you can see on this one, you can see the camera lens part of it actually protrudes out a little bit, but on this one it doesn't, which, as you'll know, pretty much means that the entire thickness of the device is the same thickness as the camera. Technically it's a little bit more. The positive side of that means that there's no weight or pressure being put on your camera lens when it's put flat down, as it would be with this cover here. But as I've said before, you should always have a cover on your device anyway. But with this you can't put any other cover on it because you have this on it, so your sides are exposed. So a little bit of extra protection in the back should be warranted. I would have expected some better protection for the sides, even a bumper to be included. And the reason why I'm suggesting that now, I'll tell you in a minute. But the other negative thing is the fact that it doesn't close properly. As you can see right now, I'm just going to hold the sides. Pretty much that's the way it goes. You know, it's a little bit above it. Normally this isn't a big deal. I assumed it would have actually stretched out and closed perfectly fine, but I've noticed that when you're using the device you're going to go like that once in a while, and that kind of stretches it out and makes it stick up even more. So it's a pretty big negative, because ultimately one of the good features of this is that it automatically wakes the device when you open it. But because it doesn't close properly, I can imagine when this is in your pocket a lot, it may accidentally open a couple of times, waking your device, draining your battery needlessly constantly throughout the day. So it is a pretty big negative for a cover like this, and the reason that's such a big negative, and the reason I suggest it should come with a bumper, is because of how much it costs. It's about €50 for this cover, and that's just way too much for pretty much what inherently is just a piece of plastic and fabric and like cardboard and inside this. That's pretty much what all this is, and it doesn't even do a great job of protecting the screen at the end of the day because it doesn't close properly. I would have expected something more there. It doesn't even come with a screen protector for extra protection on the screen itself. So this is your first and last line of defense. So if that opens, dirt can get in, and that means if you close it or you hold it closed, or it ends up being closed in your pocket, that dirt will grind against the screen easier. If anything gets in there, even in your pocket with your keys could still get in there and essentially cause damage. And that's a big negative for something that's inherently supposed to protect your screen. That's the number one reason why you buy a flip cover, is to protect your display. But it doesn't even do a good job of that. Not as good as even a €10 flip cover would do. If you're buying this cover because of the screen, I wouldn't bother. There's tons of apps that will do the same thing. When you wake the device, it'll display a little small clock using absolutely no power, because it is an AMOLED display. So if the pixels are black, that means it's off. It's that simple. So yeah, if you're looking for something like that, there's tons of apps that do it. Just search AMOLED clock or AMOLED something. You'll find an app that can do it, and it'll just display a text in a little small one. So when you wake the device, all you get is the time, if that's what you want. I know Samsung have their own built-in notification as well. Besides the S View, if you wave your hand, it'll display a few key pieces of information quickly and then turn the display off again, which may be a thing to look into. But again, I could never recommend something that essentially doesn't do what it's supposed to do and costs €50. You know, you could get a decent flip cover for 20% of the cost and not have to worry about half the things. One with a strap on it that actually keeps it closed, so you can rest assured that it's protected. But again, there is a few drawbacks in this, and it's really like the drawbacks wouldn't be that big of a deal if they kind of ironed themselves out after a while. But you know, at the end of the day, for €50 they shouldn't be there, and that's just the way it is. Especially since it's a good idea for a case and stuff like that. You know, it's a good idea to have the screen cut out. But that's pretty much it. So you can check out the full review on geektech.ie, and you can check out our other reviews on the YouTube channel. So thanks for watching.